So welcome back to another episode of Favorite Friday. Today's case we're actually returning back to London, and so I just thought, here's my take on it, and let's just go get started.
But if I lay down and I play dead and I stay dead, maybe you'll get sick of being the monster out of my head, under my bed. Think you're something out of my nightmares, standing right there. But if I lay down and I play dead and I stay dead, then will you get bored of killing me?
So start off with our killer. Sarah Sands was said to have been born sometime in 1982 or 1983. I couldn't find an exact date. We're actually going to fast forward all the way to 2014 because I couldn't exactly find anything about her upbringing. And so by 2014, she is a single mom. Bradley, Alfie, and Reese. So of course, being a single mom with 3 kids, she was over here on a waiting list for an apartment for years. And it gets to the point, 2014, she finally gets accepted. So then of course she moves in. Her kids are doing well in school. That's great. And then on the opposite side, there was a man named Michael Pleasted. He's important to the story. Sarah would meet Michael soon after moving in. She would cook for him and often keep him company. So, of course, that made them friends. And so, yes, she cooked for him and often kept him company. Bradley, the oldest child, he's like 12 at this time. So, he's 12 and the twins are like 11. He is looking for work because he's 12. I guess he wants some sort of independence and his own little money. So, understandable. So then Michael would ask Sarah if she wanted to help him out at like the newspaper place because apparently Michael's working at the newspaper place. Sarah thought of him as a friend. So then, of course, she asked her son Bradley if he was interested. And, of course, he, jumped at the chance. Bradley would even bring his like 2 younger brothers, Reese and Alfie. However, unfortunately, soon after, Bradley would say that he didn't want to, work with Michael anymore. And in November 2014, the twins would actually confess that they were being violated by Michael, sadly. And then once Bradley found out that the twins were being violated, he confessed that he was being violated too, but he didn't want to, confess to it because, he thought it was embarrassing. And so then Sarah would, of course, call the police and explain everything. Michael was arrested, posted not guilty, and was somehow given bail and was allowed to live back in his apartment. The family was scared of revenge, so Sarah went back to police to have Michael rearrested, but the police actually said, of course you can move. So then Sarah went to the council because both of their flats, because remember this is London, so they refer to them as flats instead of apartments. The council's over both of these flat buildings, I guess you could say, and they said she asked the council, can you move Michael? They said the best they can do is move them out of London. So not Michael, but Sarah and her kids, but it'll be out of London. So then, of course, Sarah didn't want to do this because the kids were already doing good where we're at, and we shouldn't have to move. Also, sadly, since Michael pled guilty, that meant the boys would have to go to trial with evidence, basically testify what Michael did to them, which, as you can imagine, already, because these are 11 and 12-year-old boys, already is going to be pretty terrifying and traumatic for them. So, of course, Sarah didn't want her children have to do that. So, on the fateful day of November 28th, 2014, Sarah was at her mother's house, and apparently she had 2 full bottles of wine. She would arrive back to her home and looked at pictures of the boys, which caused her to cry, have a mental breakdown, because she felt them, because she let that happen. Even though she didn't know it was happening, she felt that she had failed them. And she would grab a 12-inch knife from the kitchen and walk over to where Michael was staying. She basically told him to confess to what he did to her children so that her children would have to testify, because again, that's very traumatic for a child. And so he called the kids liars. It got to a point to where I guess he realized that she wasn't going to believe him, so he started getting cocky. And then Sarah pulls out the knife and then stabs him 8 times, and then she left. And then Sarah would turn herself in. Michael would die from blood loss. I couldn't exactly find where she stabbed him, but they must have been pretty severe. And so she would claim that she didn't mean to kill him, and she simply just wanted him to confess to his crimes. So then she would be charged with murder, obviously, and then the boys went to go live with the custody under Sarah's parents. Then soon after, it was revealed that Michael actually wasn't his real name. It was Robin Molt. Under this name, he had records of violating boys from 1970 all the way to 1991, with 24 convictions in total. And those are just the assaults that we know of that were reported. So then due to some legal loophole, he was able to legally change his name, sadly. This is also before the sex offender registry was made, so this is how he was able to get away. Sarah would explain in court that she just wanted to protect her children, like any mother would want to. Sarah would get manslaughter and get 3.5 years instead of just regular murder. However, some felt this sentence was too easy, so her sentence was doubled. And so it's said that like 40, even though she had like thousands of supporters, apparently at least 40 people complained. So might want to go look into the people that complained. And so she only ended up serving like 4 years and was released in August of 2018. Her children would waive anonymity because they were minors, but they were like, no, fuck it. That we want the world to know our names. We want them to know what happened. So they waived anonymity, and that's how we even know their names in the first place. And so Sarah apparently is speaking out regarding this issue, and we need to like tighten the restrictions on sex offenders. And so, yeah, that was pretty much the case of Sarah Sands. Of course, like I said, a lot of people were divided, mostly supporters, of course, because he was a confirmed pedophile. However, of course, you're going to have the people who are against this. And so, yeah, I thought it was a pretty interesting case. That was pretty much all the information I could find in the short week that, I have to research these cases. And so, yeah, let me know your thoughts down below. Of course, case recommendations always. And I'll see you failful in the next one. Bye.
But if I lay down and I play dead and I stay dead, maybe you'll get sick of being the monster out of my head, under my bed. Think you're something out of my nightmares, standing right there. But if I lay down and I play dead and I stay dead, then will you get bored of killing me?
Silhouettes of you are like a taunt. Never really know just what you want. With you I don't ever feel calm. I can feel the sweat inside my palms. Play with me like cats and a string. You don't understand the pain it brings. You don't ever wanna give me wings. You don't ever wanna set me free. You know I'm addicted to you, and it's twisted, you've been gifted with the evil voodoo. Got me coming back for more, even when I've been screwed. Dolls full of pins, pierce my heart straight through. I got issues in my head, I like you in my bed, but you keep me on red. Oh, everything is like a test. I better not text or I'll come off desperate.
But if I lay down and I play dead and I stay dead, maybe you'll get sick of being the monster out of my head, under my bed. Think you're something out of my nightmares, standing right there. But if I lay down and I play dead and I stay dead, then will you get bored of killing me?
So if I play dead, will you regret everything that you did, that you said? I don't think you understand what you're doing, and my heart's black and blue from the bruising. I feel like when I'm with you I'm losing. I feel like you